Hello everyone, episode 15, keep it real. I'm recording this straight on from number 14 by the way, so the last episode you've seen, I just thought, hey, while I'm in the zone, let's just go for it. Let's just carry on going. So, pretty much summed up in the last episode what we were going to do today. It's the last week that we have in March, and I want to top the funds up. We're at £3,578. I want to make the most of the fertilizer contracts. I'm kind of concerned maybe they'll start to disappear or dwindle a bit after March. It seems like a good time for the contracts to appear on this map, so I'm going to make the most of it. See what's at the pub. Hopefully there are some fertilizer contracts. I'm sure there are, because last time I checked there were quite a few. So we'll just park up here, see what we have available. Maybe we'll do two. Definitely do one for now. We'll see what they've got. Obviously, I'm just making this up as I'm going. A bit of role play, so we'll jump down to contracts, wherever they are. Okay. What do we have? I mean, that would be nice, wouldn't it? 16,000. That would be amazing. And that is also the same person. So what we kind of said before, and I can't remember who it was, we were talking about it in the comments actually, but if there's a job for the same person, why not have the equipment borrowed once and then do both jobs for them, because it's the same farmer? And actually, that kind of makes sense, because I could do field 10, then head on straight down to that same farmer's field number 1 and do that as well. We could come out of this episode with like 20 odd grand extra. Right, I'm going to do that. So this one here, borrow the items, a little bit of editing, and the equipment will now be at that field, which is great. And then while we're here, let's accept the contract for the same farmer. Wow, cool. So we're going to have some money deducted. I didn't actually look, if I'm honest with you, but one of these two contracts will have a big deduction from actually borrowing the equipment. It's just the way it works. So that's fine. But we've now got to head to field 1 or field 10. Which one did I select first? Field 10, I think. Let's just have a quick look on the map. Okay, here we are, field number 10. And on the map you can see that that's there ready to go. So just up here, turn left, follow the road right along. We drove that road actually the other day because we did this one, I want to say. Fine. So let's head on down. This is going to be a nice money earning kind of episode. That is for definite. We'll probably end it with a little check-in at the shop, see if there's anything decent in the used section, because we are going to have probably a nice chunk of money. I mean, given what we've already got, we might have 25 grand maybe if we're lucky. That would be great. But sounds like a lot of money. It really isn't. In fact, the majority of that will probably be spent on the landscaping of doing up our cows and getting the cow barn ready. Maybe we could afford the actual barn. That would be good. I'd be happy with that. I am going to, by the way, I've mentioned it before, but I am going to, or not going to, go with the Terra farm. Now, I've done a little bit of play and I've watched a few videos, and it is such a good mod. It's cool, especially if you're doing like the mining maps and things. But for trying to do genuine landscaping is, I mean, it looks almost impossible. I think the kind of hill. Oh, that farmer's left their equipment part right in the way. That's not very good. Yeah, the kind of hill that we're working with, I think trying to use the Terra farm mod on that hill is impossible. Oh, there's the fuel lights just come on. That is not good. Right, let's just jump in here and see what we've got. Nice looking tractor. Very modern. Not too modern though. Still not overly expensive. Sticking with the rules, we're going, you know, smaller equipment, nothing too fancy. Certainly until we kind of, I guess, pretend to have a little bit of trust with some of these farmers. Now, if I could actually drive, I could have hooked that up first time. But I can't drive. Oh, come on. I don't like to use this view for my advantage really, but there we go. Okay, connect up the hoses, connect up that, and then we also need to get that front weight on, and I think we're probably going to need that front weight. Now, I'll tell you what, this field, number 10, looks quite large. And this, I think, was the lowest paying field. So, how big is the other one? Alright, I must remember I need to raise that. It's like a manual attachment thing, where it doesn't seem to raise the weight automatically. But that's fine. I've failed on that one 2 or 3 times, I think. No comments today saying that I didn't raise the weight. Anyway, do what we usually do. I think everyone who I've kind of mentioned it to is in agreement. If you're working for a farmer, you kind of should have the fertilizer included. So let's fill that in there now. We're going to go full pout on this one, fill it right up because we're doing 2 contracts. Now I don't know what the spread is on this one. Hopefully it's relatively good. That's not too bad. So I don't know how long this will take. I don't like to do a whole episode of just contracts for other people. I would like to end it with something a bit different. Certainly a trip to the fuel station for the first time is a necessity. But yeah, I don't think actually... Yeah, the field is absolutely huge compared to what we're dealing with, but this ain't going to take long at all. This isn't going to take long at all. This is going to be a easy money actually. Maybe too easy. Maybe a little bit too easy. But the money's going to be spent pretty much on landscaping, so it's fine. I did actually just mention in it now on the... If you're newer to my channel, because you know I'm not a very big channel, I'm still a pretty small fish in a big YouTube ocean. But on my Saskatchewan series, what I always did was whenever I logged in to support other players, with normally a bit of landscaping actually, because you know I enjoy doing it and it helps out other people. Altair tends to be the one that I've helped the most anyway. And what I do is we kind of set an amount. So he has his own channel. In his series, he kind of role plays the fact that he's paying me to do some landscaping work for him. And what I've always done previously is use that amount that he's kind of role played and put it into a separate fund, into a separate landscaping fund for the series. So on Saskatchewan, I had a separate fund where, you know, I built a house and I put decorations around the yard and basically anything that didn't actually benefit my series but benefited my need for realism. So I don't know if I want to do that again. I'm tempted to. I know that he wants me to do a little bit more for him at the minute. So I could, while go on, I could log into his server again, do a little bit of landscaping and then transfer the money that he kind of role plays and pays me for doing it on his series and actually use that just to do yard decoration and landscaping on this series. I could do that. I could do that. But I don't want the series to progress too fast. I know we've said that a lot and again I know I have a lot of agreement in that fact. This is a real slow series, there's no doubt about that. I think we're on, what did I say this was, episode 15, if my goldfish memory serves me right. And, you know, we've barely got 4 pieces of equipment, to be honest with you. But that's great, that's exactly what my aim was. We don't really own any land, we've made a field which is probably the most pathetic field of the entire map. And we've just literally made it on like a rocky hillside, almost impossible to harvest without losing loads of yield. Yeah, we're certainly struggling. I think that's fair to say. This series is pretty much a struggle. But that's real life, isn't it? Anything's a struggle really. Real life's not meant to be easy. So if you do watch the roleplay story mode, I know I mention it pretty much every episode, but you never know, might not capture people who watch this in that one. The views I get at the minute are quite inconsistent, and I think that's what comes with a new channel. But if you don't watch it, please do. Again, you know, I put quite a lot of effort into it, but I just enjoy doing it, to be honest with you. And I tell you what, I make myself laugh actually doing the Mr. Travaskis bits. And again, it is all improvised, by the way. I make it up as I'm going, but it kind of comes naturally to me because that's just what the old boys and the old girls are like around here. Certainly my nan, certainly my granddad, and just every kind of Cornishman in general. They tend to be a little bit like that. So I kind of make it up as I'm going, but I make myself laugh because I'm making it up as I'm going. Some of the things I say, I edit out, by the way, because Cornish people, the older generation of Cornish people, some of them are a little bit stuck with the times, I think maybe is fair to say. And yeah, I get some of the language that they use. Maybe I naturally do it because I'm so used to kind of being around them, but then I think to myself in editing, yeah, I'm probably not going to add that word. I don't want this channel to be getting kind of warnings and things from YouTube for some of the language that I naturally say because of them. But I do make myself laugh, and I know people who watch the series, people that I work with in actual fact watch the series, and I do know that they give me some kind of constant feedback, and it does make them laugh as well. So hopefully it does make you laugh, some of it. I kind of added that character purely because he is quite funny. Anyway, right, I think now that should be contract finished. Although I wasn't paying attention, and I will know when I edit, but I don't know if it came up with field is finished. So let's just do these random little bits just to play it safe, because I don't really want to be pressing the kind of menu option and going into the loading screen, because you know my kind of rule was we only do that when we get to the pub. So this is the bit that's going to be a bit more of a struggle, because I don't know where field 10 is. Sorry, that was field 10, wasn't it? It was field 1. All I know is on the minimap it's flashing. So we'll use that, and we're just gonna... Oh, it's not that way, is it? It's someone's field. We'll use that as a random guide to try and find our way there. It might even be this field, you know. Is it this field? I think actually it is this field. Ideal. I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Given that it's owned by the same farmer. This is a big field. Now this is a real big field. So we'll get straight on with it. Again, these don't take too long, if I'm honest with you. This could end up being a real short episode. I hope not, but it could be. We're nearly there. It's just come up in the top there. Look, 91% complete. This was a big field. This was a pretty damn big field. Now, for me, I don't know about you. I don't know. By the time I've edited, I've more than likely put this into a time lapse. I think actually. But I've been playing now for probably 40, maybe coming up to 45 minutes of actual recording. I do like to do all of this stuff manually. Certainly on a series when we're talking keeping it real. I haven't used the helper, so it has taken me a little while. But yeah, I feel that, I don't know, I'll probably times the time lapse by 5. So 40 minutes for me, probably only maybe 20 minutes into the episode, if that. So we will get on with some other jobs straight after this. So we'll just finish this off now. Maybe this might even be the last pass. We might get away with it. Depends how much of this field it actually wants for it to show at 100%. But I think once we've done that, we're going to drive back to the pub via the fuel station, get a little bit of petrol, or diesel I would imagine, for the Hilux. Get our money, and I'll probably end the episode on a little bit of landscaping. And maybe I won't skip that bit. I'll probably show it. I might not even time lapse it actually, just as a it's definitely not a tutorial. That's the wrong kind of word. Oh, it's just come up finished actually. Great. Now normally I would say we're going to finish it, but since I've just done this for half an hour, we'll go with that. That's fine. Yeah, I wouldn't say tutorial because by no means am I the best person at Farm Simulator to do a tutorial, but maybe someone to get some hints and tips. What I'm going to try and do is a little bit different to what I would normally do, I guess. I'll have to do a save just in case I really majorly muck it up, but ideally I want to try and do it all first time. But I am going to try and create that sort of second level, and it's going to require a lot of guesswork actually. I know roughly which cow barn I want, but I don't know exactly how it's going to place itself. I don't want to free place something like a cow barn because sometimes then it affects the triggers and stuff. So I need to get the ground as ready as possible so when I place the cow barn it doesn't then do some sort of weird disaster to the landscaping. Anyway, we'll park this back up where we left it. We obviously need to empty the fertilizer back out so we don't get free money. And then we'll make our way back. We'll park it here, I'm sure that's fine. So I'll just do that again. I won't cut all of this out. Just get my mouse out ready. So, solid fertilizer, I want to empty it. Brilliant. And it's not blocking the road, which is great. So we'll leave that there. 2 jobs. 2 birds, 1 stone. Amazing. And that's going to get us quite a lot of money. Now the fuel light is still flashing, or the noise is still beeping. So we do need to get to that fuel station. Yeah, I can't believe how quick it's gone down actually. Like, it's probably on 15% fuel. This obviously would have been full. At least I think it was full, unless I purposely reduced the amount of fuel in it. I can't remember now. So I'm probably like 20-25 minutes into the episode and I'm not even kind of said I hope everyone's doing well, so I do hope you all are. And as always, thank you for comments and things. I quite like replying to them. As it stands, I don't think there's a single comment I've not replied to, or at least read and kind of shown that I've read it anyway. I think that's quite nice. You never know. Well, look, I'm talking, I nearly drove past the fuel station. Right, let's head into here. Yeah, maybe if the channel keeps getting bigger, I might struggle to reply to every comment, but as it stands, I have definitely still been doing that. Now, I'm pretty sure I've installed the kind of manual refueling mod, but I can't really remember. It's not that. Okay, so I haven't got any fuel. I wonder if that is just literally decorative and it doesn't do anything. Because I can't figure out how to refuel. I've even turned on the menus, as you'll see. Let's switch those off real quick, because I do like to play without those on. Yeah, odd. Maybe that is just decorative. Maybe that is for show. Maybe I'm going to have to purchase a fuel tank. We're going to have to keep a real close eye on that figure. That's annoying though. Maybe it's just me. Maybe there's a bit of a conflict with the mod. I might have to turn that manual refilling mod off, maybe. Anyway, there we go. Let's just cash in our money. Wow, look at that. So, it's deducting us from this one. Oh, it's not even deducted that much. So, we're going to get £4,801. And then the same farmer, 16,805. Amazing. We have £25,100. Would you believe that? That is impressive. That is really, really good. Now, we can check the used shop. We can't buy anything, but we can check it. Wouldn't it be nice to own something like that? I think maybe this isn't the kind of series. I don't know if I've ever bought that in this game though. That does look impressive. Certainly not keeping it real. Right. There's nothing in the shop worth getting. So we are going to head back to the farmyard. And we'll do a little bit of landscaping. A bit of pre-landscaping. Get that cow barn in position. Maybe even buy the cow barn. I can't remember how much it was. But I've got to be careful actually, because if there's no more contracts for us to do for a little while, this £25,000 needs to kind of survive us. Don't forget, we've got rent due in the beginning of the next episode. We've got the loan repayment due beginning of the next episode. That is, I mean, what is it? Probably just under £2,500 we've got to pay in bills. So I can't go crazy here now. I can't go crazy at all. As long as I keep my spend under 20,000, we're pretty much in the same position we've been in the previous episode. So that's not too bad. Now, we are here. Didn't take too long to get here. We'll keep the pickup truck right out of the way. And I'll get my mouse out and we'll jump into construction mode. Good. Okay. Well, it's nice from above actually. There's not too much kind of damage. You can see the damage here. Be interesting to see these small little areas here where I had a bit of tyre slip. If you still get crop growth, I'm going to say you don't. I'm pretty sure you don't, but we'll see. I guess my only concern with that is when it comes to towing the actual harvester, which, you know, it's quite a vintage one and it's quite small. If I get a lot of wheel slip because it's a trailing harvester, and am I going to lose all of my yield before I even get the harvester over it to pick it up? That could be a bit of a disaster. I'm going to have to watch that. That might be a real disaster. Okay, right, so I'm just going to start with finding the animals. I'm pretty sure I found what I like the look of in cows. And it's something traditional. That look. Doesn't that look great? Not that you can see it very well. Just old school. Yeah, that's what I want. Pretty sure it produces milk. But it's very, very basic. And because it's wooden, it's realistic to say that could be constructed kind of out of nowhere. I wanted to avoid a brick building because I feel like, you know, you wouldn't be able to just magically make a brick building appear. So what I'm thinking is, if this is going to be like here, in fact, what I'm going to do is turn on the zone markers again real quick. Because I need to be able to see what is where, if that makes sense. So find it again. Right. So you've got the place to unload food is furthest over. The place to unload the water is there. And also the animal place, which we need access to, is there to the left hand side. So we need to be able to get that because we are obviously going to be using trailers. Now I can't go too far over because this side is obviously where you collect the milk from. So this I've got to be quite nifty with my positioning here. I need to leave plenty of room in front of it to be able to get vehicles in and down the other side. Yeah, so this is going to be challenging, but it gives me a bit of a template of what I need to aim for. Yeah, let's see how this goes. This might look like a disaster. So I'm going to use the leveling tool because I want to bring it out to kind of this level here, I think. Like that. Interesting how it's not deleting the grass. I always thought the leveling tool deleted the grass actually, if I'm honest. But it hasn't. So, yeah, this is what I want. Now obviously I can smooth some of this after. Let's just try and find that sweet level first of all. Yeah, it's raising all of this up, which is what I want. Keeping the cursor very small though, because I don't want to tear up our field. Now, how's that looking? Actually, that kind of is how I thought it would be. Now, we're not going to be able to landscape around the tree trunk, which is fine. I need to get rid of that. I am really glad that it hasn't removed all the grass as well, because that keeps kind of a natural look to it still. Okay, right, so is this going to work? So now, because of how I've done it, I do have to free place this, otherwise it will literally flatten the whole lot, and I don't want to do that. So, if I can find out where it's the least amount. Right. This is the nervous bit. This is the bit where I need to free place it, but hopefully free place it so that it doesn't affect the ground. So the gate that you can see there, where you put the animals in, that bit needs to stay flat. As I go up the hill, it starts to sink into the ground. That ain't gonna work. So I need to pretty much find the sweet spot where that's pretty flat. The fence can then kind of go up the hill still, which is fine. And not go too far. This is trickier than I thought. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah. Let's have a look. Okay, right. Well, I've done it now. It's too late, isn't it? Let's go and have a look. Let's have a look on foot. See how much of a disaster I've caused. So this little pathway is going to go right to the field. That's just going to be the little kind of entrance to the field there. This is where the hill has started. It's gone a little bit over, but I can level that out. That's fine. And then this is going to be the next level. So I'll probably put like a fence along here. I will level it out in a minute. Once I start painting, I'll be able to see better. But this is the area I was concerned about. So I can get a vehicle here, load the food. Can definitely load the water. Can I get to the milk? I mean, these bushes don't need to be here because the actual outer bushes are these. And I can just about reverse a little trailer around there. That's... I'm happy with that actually. That kind of works how I want it to be. We're only going to have some really small equipment anyway, so that's fine. Now I didn't go down any further. Obviously I'll level this all out. This will be like a bit of a hill. My main concern is this area flat enough? And actually, if this gate actually opens, which it might not, I don't know. It doesn't actually look like it opens, it's just for show. But it's definitely not in the ground. And this has still got a nice kind of hillside to it. So this hasn't edited any of the actual land, which is amazing. Just what I wanted. Even got a nice little tree in the middle of it for them. That gives them a bit of shade, doesn't it? Actually, I think this has worked out pretty well. I do think it's worked out quite well. I don't know if this one will produce manure. Don't know if it will produce slurry. Probably have to add the extra additions to it, but that's fine. We'll get when we get to it. I've got this area here. I can put something there, a little manure pile or something. I'm kind of hoping that the manure just spawns in there and you have to scoop it out. I'd like that. Get my wheelbarrow, bit of manual labour, but that ain't too bad actually. That kind of works. So I'm going to jump into landscaping now. I'll speed this bit up, I think, and I'm just going to do. You should never do landscaping when your character's in the way. Let's move him out of the way a minute. Stand down there. There you go. So let's just do a little bit of fine tuning now, a bit of painting. Maybe I'll swap that bridge. Look, it's moved again. Since the last episode, it's moved again. See how far off that is now. It's not even on the path anymore. I don't know what causes it. It must be that bridge. Bizarre. But look at it. That looks awful now. I did not do that. I'm not admitting to that. Right, let's get going. I'll catch you again in a second. Shouldn't take too long, I hope. Okay, I think we got it. I think so anyway. So, let's just look down here. Yeah, just a nice little pathway to the field. I did have to, I might have to tweak it a bit more. I did have to just lose a tiny bit of the field. You've probably seen that in the time lapse anyway. To be honest, it's minimal. It's not grown, it's not, it's not cost us any money. Yeah, it might cost us a few quid in pointlessly planted potatoes, but I'll have to tweak that a little bit more in a minute, but that's fine. This is the bit, this is the moment of truth, and I'm hoping it's going to look pretty damn cool. So yeah, this is what I wanted. A nice little road up here, separate little lane, up onto a new tier. It's proper bumpy. I'm just going to leave it like that though. That's the way it is, isn't it? You wouldn't expect it to be smooth. We are going to have to deal with that. But this is still, looks pretty cool. Definitely reverse the trailer up to there to get the animals in. Thought, let's play it safe and put the cheapest possible rickety old fence in. Just to prevent, I know what will happen, I'll end up falling down there. And then with the rules being the rules, I'd have to then pay some sort of fee for the tractor to be recovered, because I guarantee it would land on its roof. Wow, say its roof, it doesn't have a roof, but it would definitely land upside down. So this is cool. This actually, in my head, before I did it, is thought how I wanted it. Might have to do something in there once we've actually got some cows. I'm hoping that straw might show on the ground there though. I do need to lose that tree, so let's just get my axe out a minute. And I think this is one of those trees that just kind of disappears, isn't it? Yeah. So we didn't make any money back from that, but fine. I like it. I really like this. I don't know about you, but I like this. Definitely tight, definitely realistic. We're going to have to be reversing trailers up there to fill those points. To get to that milk, it's all going to have to be done in reverse. That's how I like it. No massive yard to spin around in. Wow, I think it's pretty damn cool. So, I'm just going to switch off those icons because I don't like them. And I can get myself a cheeky little screenshot here. But what do you think? What do you think? I like it. This is going to be cool. So, next episode. I mean, we didn't do bad. I said as long as we don't spend more than 20 grand. Not even spent half that. So, we'll get some cows, I think. Next episode, we'll get some cows. Gonna have to buy a trailer though, because we haven't got the means to pick them up. I love it. I think it looks pretty damn cool. Well, until the next episode, it's all getting quite exciting now. But until then, cheers and gone.